Good morning and welcome to Sun Life Financial. We're in the Blenheim Financial Center. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Steve.
We're here on the brand new Sun Life in the Community event series where we're going to be profiling all our financial advisors and the great work that they're doing in the community. We're here today with Adam Vandermey and Matt Foulis. Adam, let's start with you. Could you tell us a little bit about your practices, some of the great work that you've been doing in the community to support and strengthen our communities here in Chatham-Kent and Blenheim?
Sure. I'm Adam Vandermey. I'm a certified senior advisor with Sun Life, and I've been with the company for, I'm going on 11 years now, and we've been fortunate enough to have our operation here in Blenheim for the last 5 years. And that's when Matt and I joined up and decided that if we were going to be a business in the community, that we were going to be very involved in the community. And so one of our first pet projects was the Blenheim Youth Centre, and it was a grassroots organization that decided we needed to help our youth in Blenheim. Now, I don't necessarily have the time, or we don't have the time to volunteer with the organization, but we certainly had the ability to help them fundraise. And over the number of years, I'd say we've raised close to $20,000 for the youth center, and through a bunch of different events. But they're just a great organization that we're happy to be able to support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we held the first annual Sun Life Financial Open this year to raise money for Blenheim Youth Centre, along with Blenheim Relay for Life, which I'll touch on in a bit. But yeah, great event. We had about 100 golfers out for that event, and we raised a total of $8,000 split between the two charities. So that's one of the present fundraisers that we're doing for the Blenheim Youth Centre. In the past, we've subjected ourselves to some other interesting fundraisers. With that being 24 hours on the roof of our office. That was, I forget the time of year, but it was a very cold night. It was
early spring, and it was a little bit nuts, and I ended up having my head shaved.
Yeah, it raised extra bucks, but
that's right.
You got to do what you got to do, and fortunately it's thrown back. So that was what we did last year with local councillor Art Sterling, or 2 years ago, sorry. Yeah. Last year we did a Golf-A-Thon, so we subjected ourselves to golfing for 15 hours straight, which
we're true martyrs.
Yeah, wasn't that bad of a deal. It was a beautiful day, and raised I think about $3,000 through that fundraiser, and I guess that would pretty much sum up our Blenheim Youth Centre involvement in terms of fundraising. Other things that we've done in the past. We've held a movie night in the parking lot of No Frills here in town for the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chatham-Kent. We've what else have we done?
Well, yeah, Matt, you may be far too humble to do this one, but I'll plug you on it. For the last 3 years, Matt has been either co-chair or chair of the Blenheim Relay for Life, raising funds for the Canadian Cancer Society. And over the last 3 years, we've had the honor of being the title sponsor, or event sponsor. And you know, this community is amazing. It really wraps its arms around charitable events. And over the last 3 years that we've been the sponsor, it's got to be close to $300,000 that Blenheim has raised for the Canadian Cancer Society. And Matt's been a huge part of that as chair. So
yeah, it's just unreal the community when they get behind a great cause that. You know, it's great to be a part of that, and being from Blenheim myself, it's an honor being from this community. People here are just so giving, and I think that was one of the main things that we really wanted to emphasize having our shop here, was to on a personal level and a business level be heavily involved in the community, because you know, along with the community involvement in terms of fundraising, we're also strong supporters of the downtown. So. When we got together about 5 years ago, we realized that we needed to open a storefront here in town because the Blenheim downtown is it's full. It's thriving. It's amazing just how quickly if a storefront comes open, how quickly it is full again with a new business. Yeah. And you know, I'll shamelessly plug Adam now. Along with, like I said, the community involvement, Adam is vice chair of the Blenheim Business Improvement Association for 3 years now, I think. And stemming from that, he's also been a huge proponent of developing the Blenheim Community Task Force. and he's a chair of that as well. So through that, he's been heavily involved in some of the major initiatives that are currently going on in the town. So it's just what we do, you know. It's what we have to do.
Well, I think it's in order to be good corporate citizens, I think it's something that you know, we enjoy doing, but it's also something that is very important. And the downtown of Blenheim is and other local businesses are very involved in making this community as vibrant as it is. Whether we're talking about the park project downtown, or building a website, or what have you, it's incredibly important to everybody here that that Blenheim be successful, and it just comes through in spades, and everybody it builds business, and it helps support local business too.
Gentlemen, you've been so involved in giving back to the community and strengthening partnerships and doing some phenomenal work. Congratulations. Sun Life is very proud of you. Adam, tell us just a little bit about your practice, and if for the corporate viewers that are looking, what are a couple things that you'd like to really recommend that they take a look at that generally Canadian companies are missing out on?
Sure. Well, our firm, we've over the last few years, we've been sort of segmenting our expertise here, and although we both still work with our individual clients, my primary focus is working with our corporate clientele. And so whether that is putting together a benefits package, or a pension plan, or an RSP savings program for a company, that's really been a big focus of ours. But I also do a lot of executive planning, so whether that's compensation or succession, and ownership planning. So one of the biggest things that I see that businesses and especially the entrepreneur either doesn't think about, or is far too focused on their day-to-day business to even consider. Is that long-term planning? What am I going to do with my operating company when I decide to wind it down? Will I be selling it? Will I be turning it into a holding company? There's a lot of things to consider there, and so we've worked over the last few years to build some systems, to build strategies to help our corporate clients successfully and tax efficiently move their assets out of their corporation and make that maneuver just a whole lot smoother. And we've it's paid back in dividends, and it's huge. So if there was one piece of advice that I would give our corporate clients, is start planning now, because 20 years out isn't
too far away.
It's not too far away.
Excellent. Matt, we really know that Canadian families don't focus a lot of time on their financial planning. Tell us a little bit about your practice, what you're doing here in Blenheim, and maybe a couple of tips that Canadian families would like, that really should focus on and take a look at right away when they're talking about their financial health.
Sure. With my 7 years here at Sun Life, being a certified financial planner, I guess my incorporating with our practice, I'm the individual planning specialist. That I'm the person sitting at the kitchen table with the Canadian families. And I steal a quote from someone, I forget who, but the set it and forget it philosophy. We don't emphasize that. What I've noticed over the years is that most Canadian families don't spend enough time on their financial plan, and then talking with people, other advisors, they complain about not hearing enough from their advisors. So we're sure to emphasize that we have to meet on an annual basis, because the client's financial needs, they change on an annual basis, and that involves tweaking their financial plan, sitting down and addressing it, and looking at what changes need to be made. So if there is any advice I could give, is that if you're not spending more time on your financial plan, that you should really sit down and look at it, because we've all gone through the market the last 3 years, and changes need to be made, and readdressing depending on where you're at in your life stage. You need to be certainly on top and almost as educated as we are on certain topics. That you need to know your financial plan, and you need to be really sitting down as frequently as you need to be to really look at your financial plan. So if that's any advice, I'd say financial planning takes more than 5 minutes of your time a year to look at, and go forward from there. So
Awesome. Gentlemen, great advice. Thank you for being our inaugural Sun Life in the community, and congratulations, Sun Life in the community. Very proud of all the work that you do. Thank you very much for viewing, and I'm sure the phone's going to be ringing off the hook here in Sun Life Financial Blenheim. Have a great day, everybody.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.